Welcome to the Days of Green. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a prayer, guys. Lord God, we just do praise you and we thank you, Lord. You are a good, good God. Even when things are difficult, even things are challenging, we know that you have peace over this world, Lord God. That you on the cross, Lord God, dying for us, Lord, you have paid for all of our sins, and that we may rest, Lord God. So I pray for this rest, Lord, that we may have. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's go ahead and get into it.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay.
Hopefully I have my mic unmuted. Awesome. Woo!
Yeah. The music might be a little loud.
Don't you dare say that. Because
Sorry.
every single time I turn it around down, and then I can never hear it in the videos. And I'm like, I want.
Here, let's do this.
I'll trade you. You're fine. Just go ahead and put it back on. Let's go ahead and go through.
All right.
Welcome to the show, guys. We are, since this is a mid-session, I guess I'll have to go over some of the things that have taken place. And you can kind of help me with that. I don't know how well I'm going to do. Been pretty busy weeks and stuff. So try to keep focused and through the game.
All right. Yeah.
Zira is on her adventure to go and travel to Menzoberranzan to find the drow. Okay. Now she had to go and she's collected a couple people to help her along the way. One of the most recent ones that she was able to collect was Zira, who is a drow, and I am curious to play this out more because Zira hates travel. She doesn't want anything to do with them.
Right.
And actually, my mic is still muted. Is it? No, it's
okay.
muted. Okay, I just wasn't seeing my bars moving up and down. Yeah, so he is a drow, and so she does not care for him too much. And yeah, I'm curious to kind of play him out. But basically, they had to go into the drow outpost in mouth of Methdoom to get back Toggle, who was taken. He kind of did a dumb stunt, and he kind of
Toggle always seems to be getting taken.
Yep. He did a dumb stunt, and he got captured by the drow. And then
And I gotta get the glove strap so I can put it up like this.
there you go.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yep. So yeah, they had to go into a drow outpost. They fought the spiders. They escaped, and now they are safe inside of Torodoro's house is what I'm calling him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sent us on a mission to retrieve a mysterious chest.
Yes.
Which, yeah. He's also given us the option for another job.
Mm-hmm.
Which we don't know what said job is yet, but I'm assuming it has something to do with the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we were able to, take a break and rest our bodies because, fighting giant spiders and drow and more spiders and, yeah.
Pretty much.
Fun
You
stuff.
good?
I think so. Just want to make sure I've got
It's
the
a challenging part of making yourselves comfortable. Cool. Yeah. So basically, you are traveling through the Methdoom, the city of Methdoom. It is a large place. Is quite a travels. Right now, you are camped in Torodoro's house right now. So let me go ahead and actually bring that up to where you are. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, me and Andrew were playing. Well, we were trying to play. I was kind of sometimes when I try to play with my son and stuff and doing all this and setting up for our live show, it just is too much. I'd rather just go lay down on the bed and just tell him stories than do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. Let me go ahead and change the map for you guys so you guys can see what we're seeing. Okay.
I'm gonna heal up our characters too.
Yep.
Took a nice long rest.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. So most of them, Toggle is over on the bed and stuff, relaxing, and Ilzaran has kind of been kept to himself in a room, a back area and stuff. Torodoro kind of comes to you when he says, I don't trust your friend. What is going on with him? He says to you.
Which
Okay.
one?
Well, there's Toggle that's resting in the bed,
Yeah.
and Elzaran, who is kind of just kind of hidden himself away, whatever, and stuff in the house, okay? And Kondo is kind of just, trying to clean himself up, bandage his wounds up, okay? Elzaran is away.
He's no friend of mine.
Well, you're probably wondering what job I have for you. Like I've said, the Drow are about, and they're looking for. And then he kind of looks at both of you guys. You all. I'm assured. And you have brought in a lot of trouble to Methdoom. He kind of looks out the window, and then he kind of looks back at you, and he says, "The work that I have, it involves something gigantic." And then he looks over at the chest.
Giant! Yeah, that would be a change, wouldn't it? Kind of roll my eyes. I'm like, whatever.
Are you feeling all right? You don't seem as up to it as you were the other day when I originally gave you the mission for the box.
Mm-hmm. And we got you the box. And we had to fight a giant spider.
And you did exactly what I expected you to do. With those mushrooms that I gave you, I saw how well you worked, and I assumed that you would be able to accomplish a task. Are you willing to accomplish this task now, or is there something wrong? Are your people all right? We might have enough time for them to rest up.
They're gonna need to rest. We're all gonna need to rest before we can do anything else, but what's the mission?
He says, "Why don't you put on your cowl and come outside with me?" Quando is still, looking around for food. Tordo leans and he says, "Over there in that box, you can grab some meat to eat, all right?" Quando quickly kind of lifts his head up and stuff and walks over, and he starts rifling through it.
I look over at Quando. Keep an eye on the drow.
He has meats coming out of his mouth. It's like,
Alright, I'll follow Toradora up.
you guys both go outside of the door. Okay, we'll just put you like this. I don't want to keep moving maps. You guys go outside of the door. See if I got how well that looks. I have to remember to look at my camera and see how well the map looks. He looks out, and then he points in a direction in Methdoom where smoke and rubble and stuff kind of are moving in the distance, okay? And he says to you, "A long time ago, we used to worship a god, and he was a god of light. And he gave us sight to see through in Methdoom." And then he pointed to the directions, and he says, "All around, the city was a lot smaller. But one day," and then he pointed to the mouth of Methdoom, "somebody opened up the vault. Somebody from above opened the underdark. And our god had fled through the entrance, never to be seen again." He kind of crouches down and looks around and stuff. You can see that all around you and stuff, there's a lot of rubble. There's a lot of buildings that are broken up and torn to pieces and stuff. It's like their houses have been built out of rubble. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is what... Let me see if I can kind of get it on there. Let's see. Try and draw more.
Do you have a different filter on the drawing today?
I might.
It's blue.
Well, hopefully it doesn't look too bad. Cool. So he says, as you kind of look around, you can see a lot of just destruction through these areas and stuff, okay? You can see a lot of figures that are moving through and about this place, and they seem very lost and distraught. And you also see these bigger white pale creatures, and they're also moving through here and stuff. They seem like somewhat in control. And Torador leans to you and he says, you see, we used to be a city that was free, that had a peace. But once our God had left through the opening of Methdoom, then we were in complete darkness. And we didn't know what to do. And we didn't know we needed something or someone to cling on to. And then he kind of stares at you, and then he says, and then the drow came. Ever since that door opened, long time ago, more and more creatures would come into the city and threaten our people in the darkness. We needed to protect ourselves. We were promised protection by the drow. And then he turns and he looks, and you can see what appears to be the gigantic smoke and stuff that is probably hundreds of miles away. Okay? And all of a sudden it's starting to somewhat clear, and you see this gigantic building, castle that's moving. And it has wheels and gears that are grinding through Methdoom. Okay, so in comparison-wise, you see this thing, and it is probably... There are parts and cities of Methdoom, and this thing towers over those cities. Okay? We'll do my best, and I'll probably share these pictures and stuff maybe on our some ways, guys. It towers over the cities of Methdoom in the distance, and you then see them slowly being crushed under the weight of this thing as it's moving, okay? And he says, that is Galdoom. And Galdoom was promised by us by the drow that it would be a keeper, a god, a protector. But it was a trick. And then he kind of picks up a rock and he throws it in the air. And then he says, captured and they enslaved our people, and now we are at their hands. That thing, it has many of our people that are imprisoned in it. And every day it comes and it moves and it destroys more and more and makes more and more. I think I've explained it to you before. But basically, this is a gigantic prison filled with people that live in Methdoom, have been either enslaved and for some reason. And slowly it goes wherever it wants to go. And it destroys whatever it wants to destroy. So to live in Methdoom, you have to accept the fact that your home will be destroyed instantaneously. We always have to keep an eye out for it to see where it's going, where it's moving. That is what I want destroyed. And that is why I got the box.
To destroy that?
Correct.
Why don't you guys just follow your god?
Many have, but none have returned.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and roll for a knowledge or any kind of thing and stuff to kind of give an idea of the circumstance for his god. Yep.
I guess it'll be Underdark knowledge.
Yep. You can roll Underdark knowledge.
We're off to a great start tonight, guys.
Yep.
7.
The only god that you have heard of or you know of is Lolth and stuff. It is unforgiving, ungrateful, like a terrible god and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's just uncaring to all. And with that thought, it kind of reminds you of Ilzarin's expressions and his feelings toward that you've seen in the last encounters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you've encountered and stuff. Hopefully this sounds good. You said the audio sounds good. Our voices sound good.
Well, I could tell, but I always think it sounds good, and then
I listen to it, and I'm like, yeah, it's all good. I kind of just like balanced it a little bit. And so, he says, yep, that's the thing I want to destroy. Is that something that you'll be able to do? Don't worry about how you will destroy it, but worry about if you can get close to it. And he says, it's coming closer and closer now to the main gates. I think it's because of you and your friends and what you have done.
probably we have that effect on people, or at least I do.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, if we destroy it, that's gonna give us kind of a way through, isn't it?
Yes. Correct.
You better not leave us hanging. That's all I can say. If we do this for you.
He says, no, I wouldn't. I promise. He smiles.
The promises of an Underdarkling.
Yes.
Well, alright.
The gates open and stuff from the main entrance of Methdoom. It's probably about maybe 60 feet away. You can see the gates open up and stuff, and then you can see somewhat of a troop of army of drow coming in.
Oh,
Okay.
time to go back inside.
Like I said, they are a good distance away, 100 feet away from you, we'll say. Okay.
Still time to go back inside.
Yep. The people of Methdoom start to gather around and stuff, okay? And are trying to, are assessing what's going on and stuff. Why are they coming out, or why are they showing? They don't usually come into Methdoom because they have their higher-ranking Methdoomers to kind of overpower or roll over. And yeah, you go back into the place.
Okay.
Quando kind of looks at you and he says, everything all right?
Oh,
What's the plan then? We're going to get our stuff and get going?
we're gonna have a little fun first. Actually, how are we gonna do this?
And with that, the fellow walks over to the box. And then he pulls out what appears to be this very strange looking dark key that is kind of coiled and weird. It doesn't even look like a key shape. And he sticks it into the keyhole. And then all of a sudden, it starts to turn colors, the box, and it clicks and it opens. And a glow of light comes out. And he reaches in. And then he pulls out what appears to be a white feather. This.
Not to sound skeptical or anything, but how the heck is that supposed to stop that thing?
He says, well, there were those that traveled far to try to find our god. I should probably give the god a name. Methdoom. They're called Methdoom. So it would be Methadon. Cool. It's called Methadon. Methadon traveled and left us, and many had traveled out to try to find it. Some scoured in the darkness, and what remained we found of Methadon. Just this. And I do believe that it has a greater power that could destroy this thing. He puts it back and he closes it up. And then he puts it on the table and he says, I trust you with the last thing that we have of our God. Then now you can trust me.
Do you know anything about this, Quando?
Quando kind of looks up from his plate. He's eating. He's like, were you saying something?
Were you seriously not paying attention to anything that just happened?
I'm totally prepared for whatever we need to do.
Apparently we get to take a pretty white feather and go stop a giant wall of rock.
Ilzarin kind of steps into the room and stuff. He kind of seems very focused. He goes over toward the window quickly. He looks out at it and stuff. He's kind of looks like he's analyzing the layout outside. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Toggle also gets up out of bed. Hopefully, I am showing everything good. Toggle gets up out of bed. Let's see. No, maybe a little more up. Got to remember to look at the screen to make sure everything looks good. I'll have to remember that right there. Okay. Toggle gets up and he says, feeling a little bit better. All right, then. Why did you come out and... gotta remember. I gotta focus on Toggle. Why the heck did you come out here and save me? What the freak? You should have just left me. And he goes and he steps over onto the chair, climbs over, leans over, and pulls a piece of meat from Quando. Quando growls at him. And then he says, come on now, learn how to share. He throws it in his mouth and starts chewing it up.
Well, you know, we kind of needed to get the chest, and you happened to be on the way, so we figured 2 birds, 1 stone.
And he looks at you. He doesn't look at you. He kind of keeps his head down. He says, you shouldn't have picked me up. Shouldn't have gone. Just get what you need and just continue on.
I kind of whisper in his ear, you're not leaving me alone with the Beastborn and the Drow.
And then he kind of looks at you and he says, why did you get over your problem with Drow? He looks back at Ilzarin.
There is no getting over what they did to me.
All right, then. It's about time we move on. So what's going on here? Why have you all... What situation am I in?
I look at Quando. You sure we need him?
Yes. Good luck. Can I hold your sword for you?
No, I think I got it, thanks.
Zorodoro kind of like steps out of the way.
All you need to know, Drow, is that you are only useful to us as a guide.
So is that what you're looking for? Some kind of guide to show you around what Methdoom? What's your purpose?
You're going to take us all the way to the city.
I have no purpose in the city. And then he kind of points and says, my purpose is out the gates, back and far away from here.
Your purpose is going to be a headless corpse if you're not careful.
He says, do you think I'm afraid of you? I've lived in solitude, and I have hated my outcome that I've been put in, and you want to threaten me?
No, it's just a statement of fact. Those who can't help me will only get in my way. And I can't have that. Unfortunately, we can't have you running out the gates just yet. Because
you can hear a bunch of clamor outside and stuff, and you can hear a lot of yelling. Okay? You can hear what appears to be somewhat of a drow yelling something, too. Okay?
Yeah. You try to go out those gates right now, it'll be the last thing you ever do. So, you can help us. And maybe you make it out of here with your life. Or you don't help us, and you for sure will not make it out of here with your life. I just kind of smile at him. Good choice, Trow. And just know the only reason why you're still breathing is because Quando thinks that you have a purpose and are useful to us.
He says, so I should thank him then, huh? So you're interested in Menzoberranzan. You like the drow, obviously. Obviously, you hate me.
Let's just say I have a history with your people.
All right, then. I will consider it. How about this? However well this next mission goes, I will decide.
Fair enough. I pull the fabric with the drow sigil on it from my family.
Okay.
Do you know the symbol?
He walks over toward it. And then he freezes and he looks at you. And he smiles and he says, that is, I don't know what they would call it, but that is the head house. The top house.
Where?
He says, you must have friends in some really good places. This is a curse on you.
Well, then I will become a curse to them.
Okay. You hear a bunch of yelling and stuff and kind of screaming and stuff. Quando kind of makes his way over toward the window and stuff and takes a look, and he can see what appears to be. He informs you that the drow is sitting up above, and he is saying a couple of things. Okay. You guys go. I'm just going to put you guys all. You move over to the window and stuff, and you can see this drow kind of yelling out at these people, and he's saying, your time is done. Galdoom is coming. He's saying, your time is done. Galdoom is coming for every single one of you. Somebody is hiding traitors amongst my mess, and the drow will not accept it. Flee now, you cowards. But if you do stay, we will find and we will hunt the ones who have wronged the drow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
And with that, the army starts charging forward and stuff, and these Methdoomers start just racing and running. You can see them pushing their doors open and just fleeing out of these buildings. Okay?
Shall we?
Running. You can hear louder and louder the mechanisms of the Galdoon coming closer and closer, and the crushings, the screamings, all kinds of chaos and stuff coming. He says, Toradora says, we might still have a little bit more time, but I don't know when, as long as we stay hidden.
What's the point? Everybody else is running and screaming. Let's go run and scream.
I don't think that's a good idea. He says, here is the job that I have for you. Destroy Galdor. Use the feather.
Yeah. So we will...
Are you rested up?
Yeah.
Sago kind of is like,
Yes, you are rested. We rested.
Okay. You're rested up and everything?
Yes. Yeah, we took a long rest. At the end of the last one. Or a full rest or whatever.
Gosh, I was ready for all this. Go. You step outside.
I make sure everybody eats like double mushrooms so that way their disguises last long enough.
Okay. Okay. You guys go out the back door. Okay, we'll see. And you start making your way. Okay. Doro tells you good luck.
Aren't you gonna come with us?
And he says no.
Chicken.
Yeah,
Coward.
he's not going. Christine, come on, babe.
Nah.
I cannot handle like 4 NPCs. Give me a break. You're just gonna utilize them to just fight your battles.
Okay.
It is about 100 feet away. Okay. This thing is coming. It is soon gonna crash into the main walls of Methdoom. Let's see. And as you are coming out of the room and stuff, you can see what appears to be drow moving through the streets and stuff. Okay. They kind of are holding what appears to be Tekken. We'll do Tekken. Okay. One of the people that helped you get in Methdoom. And the drow is yelling at him and he's saying, "Keep your eyes open." Tekken is looking terrible. His clothes are ripped. He's pretty like out of it and stuff, but he's trying, and as this drow is pulling him along, okay? It is slowly making its way over toward your guys' direction.
Are there a lot of other drow around him?
There is a couple of, I would say, let me see if I can pull 1, 2, 3. Boom, 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 boom. Does that work? And then, yeah, there's a couple of them. There's 3 of the Methdoomers, okay? The Methdoomer guards, and then there is a drow. Kind of leading the way. No, I don't have any drows. I'll just give another one of these guys. Okay. Cool. Coming your way. They don't see you, but you guys see them somewhat. Okay.
Okay. So 3 Methdoomers and a drow. You guys want to take them on?
It's up to you. This is going to be an adventure. Let me get up my dice. Okay. The drow kind of look over at you guys and say, "Halt! Wait there."
No.
As they kind of come over towards you guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Moves over to you. They kind of are like sniffing at you guys. And then the drow says to you, "There is somebody that's hiding themselves in the mist of Methdoom. You wouldn't happen to be them, would you?" And then he kind of stands up closer to you. Okay? I'm just going to go ahead and roll for a, I'm assuming roll for persuasion.
Would it be trickery?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trickery. Thanks. Nice.
13.
With 13, he steps away from you. And he continues on to your other people. He says, "Somebody very important to us has been taken. Very important to us. And you Methdoomers think that you can just get away with it. Tell me, are you hiding anything?"
No.
Oh my gosh. Don't have to roll.
Obviously, we're gonna say no. Okay, oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. We're the
Yeah.
ones that.
He says, "All right then. Good luck getting past Galdor. Come on, let's keep going." They start pushing past you guys.
Is that more of a secluded area?
Mm-hmm. What?
Should we fight him, guys?
The what?
Should we fight him?
It's up to you.
That'd be a stupid idea.
I mean, actually health up your guys's.
We're kind of at a tactical disadvantage because there's still like the big army of drow, right?
No, there is. Oops. Undo. there's just like forces moving out throughout the streets and stuff. Mod for 3. Let me just help them up real quick. Your health is 11, right?
14.
Mod, you said 14,
Mm-hmm.
so that is what? Put that in me because my brain is fried. We might not go too long, guys. My brain is fried.
8. 8.
Thank you.
No.
And
9. Sorry. My brain's
you're
fried too.
good. I know both of our brains fried. We're probably gonna call it an early night. Early night. We just started. I just started a new job, and
You just did damage.
that's fine. I'll fix it.
That's damage. Oh, there you go.
Yep. I just took a new job, and I am. Oh, there we go. Cool. I just took a new job and stuff, and I don't know what it is. I'm just super. We had a late night last night because we were filming our videos and stuff for our paranoia, and then I think because I usually take my medicine and stuff, and my medicine like causes me to be like very back and forth. And I've been not drinking coffee too. I've been trying to stay away from coffee.
I think it's
too.
the not drinking coffee probably.
And it's getting hot outside in Arizona.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're both a little draggy tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, we both are. We would hate to put it.
Let's
Trying
fight.
to do it
Let's
every
do
Wednesdays.
It. Let's fight.
Yay,
wake up.
thank you.
Let's do it. Okay.
What do you say?
Let's see. He said Galdor is coming, huh? Or Galdoom is coming.
Hmm.
And I'm just gonna be like, Galdoom is here. And like drop my swords and just whoosh, do a surprise attack.
About time. Thank you, gosh. Out of the light. They have their backs turned to you, okay?
I'm going
I'm going to go ahead and give you one action and stuff to do before they're going to take their turns.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I'm attacking.
Yep, I totally like that.
That is going to be 16.
There it is. Is that 16?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's over just a little bit. There. Ordered myself. Okay, you said 16?
16.
16 to attack. Oh gosh, like it, and you go to roll for an advantage too for that because it was a surprise attack. Okay.
16
Awesome.
so
Like when you're like, I have no clue where anything is. Yeah, I'll just make up.
while he's working on that, yeah, we are going to be doing a live gameplay on May 31st at 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time of Paranoia. It is going to be a fundraiser event for Alzheimer's awareness. So make sure that you tune in for that because it's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of audience participation. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and make sure that you check that out.
Cool.
Longest day RPGs versus AD.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, you said what it was what?
16.
Or 16. With the 16, he is going to be a normal hit.
Okay. So it's just going to be straight 1.
1 damage. Awesome. As you kind of step and move, and you draw close to him as you're saying this, and your blade quickly, and then he just falls forward. His men kind of quickly like go and crawl over to him and stuff. They turn around and they kind of hiss. Methdoomers, they're talking. Okay, they're undercommon, but they're kind of mixed in an old dialect. You can understand something like them saying, "We'll pay for dishonoring our leader."
Mm-hmm.
My words is terrible. My words is terrible. I try. Like the yeah. I'll get some good rest. Hopefully. Maybe coffee. Maybe it's the coffee.
It probably is.
I'm trying not to drink the coffee. Cool. That's your go. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative. I'll go ahead and roll, and you go ahead and roll and see who gets a higher number. We'll add our bonus. Awesome. There it is right there. All of a sudden,
I like this dice.
1, 2, 3, 4. There are many dice that you do not like. I like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take my first turn. Let's do one action. It's going to go ahead and move this one right here, this one right here, okay? They're both going to come to that way. These two are going to stand strong against you, okay? So two of them that just like quickly just clambered and climbed up onto the rocks, and they're facing, and the drow leader says, "Now you see, you've solved my issue that I have. Now I know exactly who you are." And then with that, his blade comes around and flips up in the air, and he's going to slash at you.
I'm going to do
Give himself an advantage
heroic
stuff,
parry.
and he's going to increase the damage. A heroic parry. Gosh, you're a darn heroic parry. I like put all my actions in just this one attack to go in for the what's called. And what does it do? Remind me again.
It just gives me a +5 for every single turn. So actually, I don't even have to do the heroic parry. I just do a regular parry.
Okay, so he's going to give himself an advantage. And so that's going to be a 16. No go? Oof, gosh, yeah, I remember your DC is what's called. He, like, takes
I
the
had
blade,
+5 to it, too.
and he slides it right through, and it misses you right in between your arm and your side. Just like, and it cuts up in everything here. Cool. That was all of its turn. Now you get to choose what you want to do.
Okay.
Do you have, I should ask you, do you have help dice on any of Toggle Kwando or Ilzarn?
I should. We gotta write that down somewhere.
I'll go ahead and give you a D8 for each one of them. And then that will be the balance. 1, 2, 3. So she can basically use these either in combat or in skill challenges. If she keeps them all the way through, then she can level up their abilities at the end of a long rest.
So I'm going to attack.
Yep.
I will go ahead and give myself advantage. And I'm going to do the sweep action, which is not something that I've actually, I don't think, used before.
There's like it's funny how like many abilities we have never used.
I know. Well, I hardly ever do I have two guys standing so beautifully right next to each other like this. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll roll for an attack on the drow.
Okay.
Advantage.
And just to let you know, you can only use the help dice from them before you roll.
Right. Okay, so 21.
21, that's going to be a heavy hit.
Okay. So it's going to be 3 damage.
3 damage. Gotcha.
And then I believe with sweep, what that does is the person next to me, right? Or the...
Sleep damage, I believe it does a 1 damage
I believe it is.
to the person.
The person next to them.
Yep. Sweep.
Right here.
You got it?
Yeah.
Beat me to it.
Sweep attack. Yeah. 1. Yeah.
1 damage to what's called. Okay. So let me see if I can actually edit this, and let's add a little label. That's the drow. He is the drow, and this is what's called. Basically, this guy is going to quickly jump in front of you as you go to do this slash. The drow kind of like backs up, and they kind of swap somewhat places. He's going to go ahead and take 3 damage. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do you said 3 damage, right? Cool. And then the drow will just take the 1 damage. Awesome. Is that all you can do?
Yep.
Cool. They're going to go ahead and go. They are going to go ahead and use an attack upon Toggle and Quando. And they are going to power it up. I'm trying to think of like ability that I can just give them one of Platinum's. Didn't expect to run combat tonight. Cool. So they're both going to attack. That's one attack. And then here's the second attack. So they're going to get a +5 to their attacks. So they're at a 14 and a 20? 15 is the last roll. So 20 and a 15. That's why I have their sheets. I'm going to put it in between us. Okay. So, for Toggle, all of a sudden this thing slashes at him. And that is going to be a... oh, yeah, that's right. I actually went through and made some character sheets and made some abilities for them. But we'll see how well this... I prefer, like, simple for them as much as possible. So, this is going to be a active, because it's avoidable. That's how I remember it. I know they're making the changes to the names. I really don't care about the teams for names. They don't matter to me, really. I'm happy with the names how they are.
Right.
I prefer to focus on the mechanics really more. Cool. So that is going to be for the first one. It's a 20. So that's going to be a minor hit. Heavy hit.
Yeah.
So he is going to go ahead and take. It's a good chance to figure all this out.
Probably needs to be higher than level 1.
2 damage. Boom. He gets hit to the ground. You stupid gold monster. Quando also gets attacked, and it is going to be a. Okay, that's going to be just no. It's going to be miss. He jumps out of the way, avoiding it. So those are those two, and then the drow is going to go ahead and attack you again. He is going to go ahead and use attack maneuver. So go ahead and roll. And that's going to be a 21 for the attack.
It's a regular hit.
Okay. So that's going to be 2 damage. And then, let's see if I did it right. Yeah, I did it right. And then go ahead and make a athletic save, please. Athletic save? Why did I say athletic save? Agility save. What's that?
21.
21.
Non-natural.
He tries to knock you to the ground, but you are able to kind of focus and keep keep yourself grounded. Okay. Awesome. It's your go.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this guy. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark. And then I am going to
The drow leader says to you, "Why are you doing this for? Why did you take him from us? Where is he?"
I have no clue who you're talking about. With that, I'm going to do a Hunter Strike.
Okay.
My sword. And it's going to be. The heck? I'll set him on fire. I like fire. So it's going to be an attack, advantage, and then I'm also going to we'll put a condition on him too. Another condition, why not?
Gotcha.
Okay, so what's this? 10. Okay, it's gonna be a 17.
17 for that attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a heavy hit.
Cool. So with a heavy hit, it's going to be 2. Okay, so 4 damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then he also needs to make a physical save.
Plus.
Yeah, you're good.
Yep.
So you're not burning, but you are bleeding.
Gotcha. Oh gosh. How much is it? 4 damage? Cool. Let's do that. Awesome.
I'm not sure, like, how this Hunter Strike works. Whether or not it's 2 additional damage compared to the weapon, or if it's just...
So you're
Dude,
basically
base-
gonna attack. So your weapon is doing. So basically, your weapon is doing its damage, right?
Right.
Okay. And then you're adding this ability on top of it because it costs you 1 stamina point. You're then adding an additional damage type to it. Okay. So you're getting that 2 fire damage as well.
Okay, so it's 2 fire and 2 slashing?
That's correct.
Oh, okay, so like 2 damage. Oh, wait, no.
If I'm correct, I could be wrong.
So you have 5 damage total.
5 damage to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I was reading it at first, when I'm like, oh, but is it? Or is it that the base damage is now 2 burning as opposed to 1 slashing? You know?
Yeah.
That's... Yeah. Can't
Yeah, I can't think about it right now.
quite... Well, your
I wish I could.
brain's not...
I know my brain is like so turned off. for
Okay.
that stuff.
Uh,
But we'll get through this. Okay, cool. It's gonna go ahead and
he's gonna take a bleeding damage.
yes, he is going to take a bleeding damage. Cool. And then they're gonna go ahead and attack Tago and Quando. Ilzarin is kind of looking at you. So this is the thing that you're able to notice. Yeah, I'm gonna get into trouble. I'm impatient. These are the things you're able to tell and stuff. Ilzarin is kind of falling back a little bit, and then you can hear the drow saying, "Where are you, traitor? Show yourself now, or pay the penalty, and all of them will suffer and die a long, long." I'm not good at like, this type of stuff, and I'm like trying to, like, you know, play a character. Playing a character is challenging. Before I cut your friends in half and torture them for a long time. He threatens. He basically. It's easier for me to probably just say it out of NDM. He's threatening Ilzarin to show himself. You traitor of love, you will pay for what you've done. Your blood will be spilled. Many of these Methdoomers' bloods will be spilled. He's yelling out, and cursing and stuff. You can hear more of the thundering of this thing getting even closer and closer. The Galdoom, and with that, you hear all of a sudden like a shock, and Ilzarin like is screaming in pain. Okay. Ah! He falls onto the ground. Okay, you just see this. It's just very strange. Okay, and it's my go, so I'm gonna go ahead and go and attack Toggle, and I'm gonna go ahead and use booster on that attack, and I'm gonna go ahead and do additional damage.
How close is he to me?
He is 2 spaces away, and then I'll just save that extra second. Might as well start killing your dudes. Okay, so that's going to be a 5 plus 5. It's 10 on toggle. Gosh, that's a base hit, but it does an additional damage to him, so that's 3 damage.
I thought his,
Oh yeah, that's right. He's fast. It's 12. Ah, darn it! I missed him.
Haha.
Gosh. Okay. Yeah, that was a total miss. The other one's going to go ahead and try to... The Drow's going to try to attack you. Let's go ahead and roll for that. So that's going to be a 7 plus 5. So yeah, no, that's a miss. Jeez.
Alright, I think Toggle's gonna get ticked off with this guy. And is going to attack.
Cool. See how good my rolls are for Toggle. It's going to be a 6 plus his 4, so a 10. Nope, there's a miss. Toggle tries to pull out his dagger and swipe at this guy, but he isn't missing. Yeah, a lot of misses, a lot of misses.
Yeah, no kidding. Quando will attack.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for Quando then. I'll let you roll for him. Should I? Should I use my dice? Gosh. Yeah, everybody's just missing.
They're all moving.
We're all missing. Alright, let's just call it a night.
Okay, well, I will attack the Drow.
Yep.
Because I have advantage.
Yep.
7, so 13.
13, yeah, that's going to be a base hit.
Yay! Okay,
Congratulations.
so 1 damage.
1 damage. Nice.
And then I think I will prepare an action, a defensive action.
Okay.
Probably for Toggle.
Defensive action for Toggle. Yeah, because he's not doing too good.
No.
Okay.
So it'll be like a dodge.
This is what I want to do. Yeah.
You take a damage from moving.
Okay. The creature's kind of cool. Let's see. We're gonna use actions to. Shit. All of a sudden, you hear what appears to be this gigantic thing come into this closer distance. You can see the stairs that go into this gigantic mouth of this prison. You can see figures and shadows inside the openings and stuff, and the lights that gleam inside of it. They cannot see you guys. You guys are just minuscule, small speck compared to this, but they're getting closer. So it is getting more threatening in this circumstance that you're in. Okay.
Okay, well, we needed to go ahead and kill these guys from here real quick, so that way we can go take care of that.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and end it there. That's it. We can call it a night.
I'm gonna use my fire blast to just
Yep.
everybody.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys. I think we try to put on the best show and stuff, but we are both mentally.
We're kind of out of it. It was a
Out of
weird
it.
night. I had to work later than usual. You just started a new job.
We're like, well, let's try. Let's see how this goes. and
Yeah.
stuff. So I would like to kind of not totally ruin this stuff. But I have no story at all. Usually I'll have story like in my mind, be like, okay, yeah, that's fun, this is fun. But I have nothing. So it sometimes happens and stuff with
Yeah.
running games.
Next week. Next week will be better,
So.
hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, hopefully around 8 o'clock. That's the plan.
Yep.
Once we get to about mid-May, we should be able to play a little bit earlier.
We're hoping to
work
get
it late.
more of our group gameplays. That will come along gradually and stuff. And getting back into the Pokemon world and just playing through that. But yeah, we're trying to refine up our ways of doing these games because we're running it. It's a challenge for me to be in mentally because I'm also running the NPCs as well as the players somewhat, and so trying to figure out that balance. And usually I would just run them with no abilities, no stats, the NPCs are friends, and just give them a cool ability every so often whenever I play. Like, you know, Toggle has a thing where he rages and he kind of is able to grow big in size and just do a lot of damage.
Nice.
And I keep his attack stats similar to hers. But then Quando is a little different. He gets a little grappling rope, and it's just fun. It's easier because then I just have it. I don't have it logged or written down and stuff. But this game, we've actually logged and written down all of their ability. I've written down a small symbol kind of sheet. That kind of actually let me change it. There we go. Yep. So I made a simple sheet and stuff that kind of gives a simple base of what they can do with information right on the back. And it makes it a little bit easier to run these additional characters. They're not like a full character sheet. But part of I think running a game is being able to having to read less and being able to kind of role play with a lot of things. So, but yeah, we made these character sheets. I made their abilities, and I'm curious to kind of try to play them out. Maybe have to just put them in there ever so softly.
Maybe do like my turn, enemy, their turn, enemy.
Yeah.
So that way, because with it, me trying to split up 4 action points between 4 characters.
Yeah.
I think I'm having a hard time getting traction. So.
I think I would prefer that because usually what we would do it is you would take a turn, I would take a turn, then your Quando and Toggle would take a turn.
Yeah, I think we need to go back to doing that.
Yeah, and then I would take a turn again.
Yep. Play it as like me, then you, and then NPCs, and then your NPCs, then my NPCs, and then your NPCs, and then
yeah, pretty much. It's kind of cool because it's like, you know, we continue on, but we're learning how we want to play it and stuff. Yeah, because I really like this. I'm really curious to kind of like let their abilities shine out more and stuff.
Absolutely. And I enjoy the collaborative type play as opposed to just a solo.
Yeah, I usually like hard gameplays and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it usually when we're both tired or you're tired, because I can tell in the game mechanic or in the story why I'm like.
So yeah, go ahead, tell me the story.
Yeah,
I'm listening. That's a nice story. What should we do with that?
I want our content to be enjoyable. I don't want to make things that are not like.
Yeah.
I don't waste my time too much on YouTube. I wouldn't want to waste other people's time. So we hope that you guys have enjoyed whatever you can. Looking forward to a lot of VC20 content coming out more, getting to play those mechanics more, and hopefully getting more into our gameplays and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys
next week.
Time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. And we are off.